Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey everybody, I am John. I am the world's worst podcast host, and I'll tell you what, man, that was a nail biter. I don't know about you, but I was sweating bullets the whole damn time. All right, welcome back to the win column. Isn't that nice? I'll tell you what, right now I'm just going to go across the top row, starting right here with my good friend Jesse Martin, who is not out in a truck. So for all of you people who were tuning in to see Jesse get in an accident while he tries to do a podcast at the same time, next week maybe, we'll keep the pool going.
Hey, 2 weeks.
What's that?
We got a bye.
2 weeks. Oh, we got a bye week, right? So, hey, the pool the money doubles over into the next one. So, very good, good idea. Let's see here. Next thing we've got our good friend from from over in the UK, Scotty Hall. Scotty, you are here representing the 1 Point Safety Show.
I am. I've just seen that there for Max. That is a kneel down formation now, I think, for the Steelers.
Who's echoing?
Oh, it's me? No, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, it is me. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
World's worst podcast host.
That's right. There we go. I can't hear the echo, so I don't know.
Might be me.
Echo. No, it's gone now.
So what Max is talking about is he hit his big dark horse yesterday. If you don't pay attention on Saturdays, the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast picks the NFL and makes some rather large bets on certain things. And Maxwell, go ahead, tell us about the big freaking dark horse you just hit, the big long shot you just hit.
He's not even listening to you.
Is he frozen? He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen. He's
all right,
gone.
he was all. Hey, look.
He was.
All right, he hit a big one, man. In that
He
Steelers
did hit a
game.
big one.
All right, well, we're not here to talk about the goddamn Steelers and the Bengals. We're here to talk about the Commanders. And I had said that, Scott, you're here to represent the 1 Point Safety Show. Down below me right here is to represent the Bunker Podcast. Andy Burrows, the international superstar. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, man. I understand that you've had some media opportunities as of late. Anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to get a bigger head than I've already got, so no.
Well,
no.
You got
That
room.
would be impossible.
No, that
glasses,
would
he's got
be.
space.
I come here to be humbled by you motherfuckers. So yeah,
His ego's got its own postcode, John.
What's that? His ego's got his own postcode. Jesus fucking Christ. You know what? If people... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to
Yeah.
Just put it this way. I had an image from... What was that movie?
That's
All right. I had an image of that movie with Odysseus or whoever it was sailing through those big two giant craggy pieces of stone. And then we'll just leave it at that. All right, so, hey, Commanders, 42-19. Hell of a fucking win. Hell of a way to get healthy. Now it's a great time to just sit back and let that all that momentum just slide off. Bad time for a bye, don't you think, Scott?
No, it's not a bad time for a bye at all. We needed the bye desperately. It was a great win, you know what I mean, in the end. It's probably the best first quarter I've ever seen for a long time.
Ever?
Yeah, I mean, 28-0 up is just... Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done that. I was very, very impressed. Then we seemed to go into the second half and just prevent for the third quarter, which was a bit odd. But overall, great performance. You need to beat teams like this by scorelines like that.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, when you say that we went into a prevent, I don't know that we really went into it no more than a prevent than we ever do, which is let St. Jude's pretend to not ever let himself get beat deep. Just don't get beat deep. But
Yeah, I didn't see a prevent defense.
They do
not
what they
prevent defense, but you know what I mean. It was like you came out very slow, and it was almost as if
the momentum was deflated by halftime. I thought.
Yeah.
By going into the half, and they just needed some momentum to get themselves back up. And I'll tell you what, the Titans do what they do. They hit a couple of lucky big ass plays. Like, how the hell do you let these guys get as open as they do on these situations that they are sometimes? But it was nothing. It was just a drop in the bucket, and overall, I thought the defense played a great game. Anybody disagree with me?
No, I mean it's same could be said if you're a Titans fan too. There's a couple plays just like, wow, how did we get that fucking wide open?
I'll tell you
that one Terry TD. I think
first one.
Was it was like it was just nobody around them. It was like, well, shit. That's usually us,
It's receivers finding holes in zones. It's football.
Tennessee
Zach
Titans
Ertz
and your
was
number
wide
one
open
passing
a couple
defense.
of times as well.
Number one passing defense. Number 8 rushing defense. Number 2 overall defense. The fuck out of here. Take your fucking Hellman's mayonnaise, boy. Get back on the goddamn train and get back to fucking inbred land. I mean, Tennessee. My fault. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add to that? I'm sorry. I'm feeling rather happy. We kicked the shit out of that team.
Well, we did what we were supposed to do. We fucking did our assignments and we ran the ball. And this offense is totally different when B-Rob is healthy, as we can plainly see.
I agree.
I tell you what, he looked completely healthy. Coming up fast after these tackles. I mean, I wouldn't say like springing up, but he was definitely not coming up slow. He wasn't coming up limping.
And Lucas, I'd maybe keep him at right tackle because he was great today.
Yeah. I thought the offensive line played extremely well. All 5 of them were great. And funnily enough, you mentioned B-Rob there, but there was no drop-off when Rodriguez came in kind of junk time. I get that, but he had some good holes. He had some good plays. And McNichols played well as well. You know what I mean? So there's no drop-off from Eckler being on IR against this team today.
No, none whatsoever. I thought that the thing that stood out to me early in the game was the running backs blocking on picking up blitzes, man, that allowed Jaden time to throw downfield. I think the running backs got an A+ all the way around. Andy, you got something to add to that? You got something you want to say about running backs or anything in general about the offense? Don't want to just leave you sitting there. I mean, you are the international superstar. Your time costs money.
Jeez. I thought, I'm with Jesse. We've done our jobs, but it's probably the perfect game for us to play Tennessee right now after having 3 defeats on the bounce.
And they came off a big win, so they that was last week when they beat the Texans. Houston might not be as good as or isn't as good as everybody thought they were going to be, coming in. But I think this game was a little bit worrisome coming in because of that. Maybe felt like they were riding a little high, but they did their jobs and they played very well today. And Cam, but we'll get to that, so don't go nowhere. We'll get to your question, Cam.
I thought execution was fantastic. Max, what do you think?
Just an all-around game. It was really nice just to find consistency. We haven't had it in 4 weeks. The offense actually looked like itself again. And, was it the tempo of it, or was it just the lack of the opponent? Whatever it is. But you know what? Whatever it is, we found it. We got a bye week to figure out how to keep it going.
Welcome to Scouts down there on the bottom left-hand side. Scouts, we're going through our first opinions of the game. Go ahead, sir. From the 1 Point Safety Show, by the way, and the I'll Stick My Finger in Your Ass Clinic down on the corner.
Up in the Woo's anus. Yeah,
that's true. Gotta give you the Dr. Woo's anus ring.
I thought it was a good performance. I thought mostly.
Mostly.
First quarter was crazy. 28 points up, man. It's just insane. And from them we kind of played within ourselves. I think the rest of the game, really. I wasn't worried at all from 28-0. Even if they came back to 28-13, I think it got to at one point.
There's still 2 scores out.
Yeah, still 2 scores out. I wasn't concerned at all, really, about this game. I mean, I'm pissed off about our kicker, by the way, but besides that, I thought we played really well, and it's a much needed win. Put it that way, definitely a confidence booster.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. Welcome to Ian. What's up, brother? And it's nice to not stress for once, and it helps when the other team will turn it over early in the game and give you some short fields, man.
Yeah,
and that helped out big time, and we were able to execute. You had said, Andy, what was different, and I do know that on Keim's show this week, he had said that the players had expressed to him that they felt that they were much better when they moved at a faster tempo, and that they had not been doing that. And today they did the announcers even said they even figured it out, that they were going a lot no huddle in the first half, and it was resulting in gigantic openings. personally, I'll tell you what, the play that I thought was the most interesting, aside from the big 40-yard run, in the fourth quarter, they ran a play with Diami Brown out in front, lead blocking for Brian Robinson. I'll tell you what, you run that play with Bates out in front of him, that was shit. I even said it in our chat. Larry Brown was in the building. I'm an old guy. That reminded me of Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway. That was a straight-up 70s fucking fullback pull, and I loved it. Let's see. Cam had something to say. What's up, Cam?
Yeah. We'll just talk about, go on, because this is our short podcast, go to, things that weren't very good and maybe are a little bit concerning is some of Jaden's overthrows. And you're kind of seeing we see this throw from him once a week, and it's a scary fucking throw. He throws it over the middle. He kind of throws it across his body, and it's always high. I just wish he would just stop that throw right there, because it's always freaking high. And I don't think he's had it intercepted this year until today. But I knew it was coming.
Hands, yeah. And I know what you say, because as a quarterback, that's supposed to be the wrong thing to do completely, is to come across when you're rolling out to come back across the middle of the field. But
he's made that throw. He's made that throw before.
He just threw it high. You're right.
But he even when he makes the throw, it's high. It's very high.
I tend to agree, Cam. That
we've all been high and made mistakes, though.
That's true.
Well, yeah, we've done that, but I've never had somebody getting ready to lay me out in the chest when it's been that way. But
what happened in the 60s happened in the 60s.
Not that old, buddy.
He got Jesus.
Jesus. Fucking
old do you think I am? 70 years old.
70? Yeah, I guess so. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's go around the room and give some quick butt pats and head slaps. Just some quickies, real quick, just off the top of the head. We'll start with you, Scouse. Give me a butt pat. Anybody on the team? I don't care. So who impressed you today?
Oh, Brown didn't drop a ball, so I'll say Brown.
Attaboy. There you go. Brown gets an attaboy.
He might have broken his rib, though.
Maybe.
Brian Robinson.
Attaboy. Yeah, that dude fucking rolled today. How about you, Andy?
Chris Rodriguez Jr.
Chris Rodriguez Jr.
Good cleanup work.
I loved on his touchdown is even at the end of the game, Biotis is right in front of him heading into the end zone. I mean, just clearing the way. That was beautiful. They were blocking really well today. Scotty, what about you?
Terry McLaurin.
Attaboy. How do you not give one to Terry? How do you not give two to Terry? 2 touchdowns today.
How about Jaden Daniels? A bounce back game for him today. I thought he was a little bit sharper, even though he did throw the pick. But I think it's a game that he needed as well. Both in the passing and in the running game, and just to get some more confidence back.
Yeah, I agree. He had some contested balls. He had some really nice passes to some wide open guys. He had some passes that were long that connected. I agree. I think that he also had some adversity. They hit him pretty hard a couple of times, man. And they didn't give him a whole lot of room to run. He was able to get outside. He was able to get through a couple of times, but he would always dive after like 4 or 5 yards, which is fine with me. But Jaden Daniels. I'm going to go ahead and give mine to Frankie Louvu. That dude is a fucking monster. I mean, seriously, a monster. When I say a monster, if you took Frankie Louvu to Japan, everybody would go, oh, and run away. They'd think it was Godzilla coming to get him. They'd fucking be tearing through the streets like you wouldn't believe. They'd be driving those little mini tanks up to shoot at him.
I think Sanders still deserves one, too.
Sanders still gets a butt pat. Anybody else? Scott, you got anybody on defense?
Jerome Payne actually turned up. He had a good game.
Thought he had a good game, too. What about you, Andy Burrows?
Louvu.
Attaboy. Max?
Amazing game. Probably his best game, I think. He was incredible.
Dante Fowler.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude.
Hey, when you go last, you get the bottom drippings, man.
Well, you can choose whoever you want. If you like one of somebody else's, pick it. Nobody owns them.
Davis. For tackling that fella outside.
Michael Davis is forgetting the stupidest personal foul of all time.
It's like, do I know? Should I be tackling on the field, or because I'm used to the bench that much, should I actually be tackling this guy on the bench? I mean, that's exactly what was happening with Davis, mate. Fucking
Davis
nightmare.
was like, he's in the zip code. I could hit him. Fucking Mike Davis. Honest to God. All right. I don't want to really give any butt pats today because, head slaps today because this is not going to be a negative show. We're talking about the good things that happened today.
Not really much to.
It's also going to be hard to find them. We have to spend a day to think about it.
Pretty sure we can all pick the same person.
That's right. Zane Gonzalez, maybe.
Yeah. Look, I put out a post. All I want for Christmas is a fucking kicker. Seriously.
I'll tell you what.
We got to bring somebody in.
I wouldn't be surprised if we missed Noah Brown for a game, because that ball, the point of the ball, got him right up under the ribs there. And you see sometimes
we do have a bye week, so we got a bye week, so I think he'll be okay.
I just don't understand, Jesse, on kickers, why every NFL team can seemingly this season, for whatever reason, kickers are kicking from 54, 56, no problem at all. We get past 50, and it just doesn't happen.
Look, this year alone, year, kicking is down majorly. I saw multiple posts for multiple big accounts, NFL accounts. Kickers are missing kicks all fucking day today. It just hasn't been a good year for kickers.
They're useless. Honestly, in my opinion, you sign a contract to kick field goals. If you miss field goals, that is breach of contract. I'm sorry, sir. You do not get a game check today.
Look at Justin Tucker, for goodness sake. I mean, he's considered the best kicker probably ever, or close to it.
50 plus this year,
or close to it. But he's missed multiple kicks this year.
When 50 plus on this show, we had constant arguments about Dustin Hopkins, and kickers just go off the table sometimes. It just happens. They just stop being able to kick for whatever goddamn reason.
It just seems like whenever they get to Washington, they're already off the fucking table.
Let's face it. Since we had Brian McManus, who is now doing okay, who brought scandal with him, we've been picking kickers up off the street. So, Siebert blew the game against the Cowboys. Oh my God, he's on injured reserve because his pride is so injured, and it should be. He should have his ass should be injured. I'm thinking that they should probably put him on injured reserve to get his coach's foot out of it. But he'd been almost perfect up until then, right? Zane Gonzalez misses a 50-odd yarder today, but it doesn't really make any difference because we're ahead by 20 points.
Did he miss 2 today?
He missed 2.
I think he did miss 2.
Yeah, he missed 2. So. Wasn't it a 46 and then a 51?
46, and a 51. That's right. Yeah.
We'll have to bring Tim Meek on here to defend the kicker.
McManus is 10 from 11.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Siebert was 17 for 17 before he went down the pot.
And to be fair, before today, Gonzalez had missed a kick.
Right.
So
we played one game, only 2 games. That's
he's only played one game.
2.
I mean, meanwhile, we put up 42 fucking points today. He didn't miss any extra points, right? So there you go. Although what you're saying is we could have put up 48, and that would have been really nice.
That's a horrible play.
But hey, I'm not complaining about 42 points. I'm never going to complain about 42 points when it comes on our side unless we give up 43 points. And I've seen a game like that, and it was not a whole lot of fun. Actually, it was a hell of a lot of fun until the goddamn end of it. But all right, so how's our season look right now? Let's go on the playoff meter and see where we're standing in our confidence in terms of where we're standing for the playoffs. We got a bye week coming up. We've got a couple of games that look on our schedule to be some are going to be challenging, some maybe not so. Scouts, we'll start with. Well, you know what? We'll start over here with Andy. We'll start with Andy. Where are you on your? I'm confident we're coming to the playoffs.
100% making the playoffs.
100%. He's buying plane tickets.
100% we are making the playoffs.
All right, Scott. What about you?
I'm saying we're about a 7 out of 10 at the moment. 70% chance. It's looking likely that we wouldn't get. We will probably get the 7th seed. It's very tough to get up to the 6th seed because we're going to have to wait on Green Bay, see how they get on, and they're a game ahead of us. They're 9 wins, but also they haven't got anywhere near as many losses as we have. Right. Behind us, Arizona starting to drop off a little bit, so maybe and Atlanta look beatable. So maybe we could push up, but it's tough because a lot of these teams in the playoff picture that are ahead of us are all going to be division winners. So what do you do? And the issue you have there is if we end up at the 7th seed, then we're going to be either away to Philly or away to Detroit.
So you're a 7.
No, we wouldn't be playing
Seventh
we
place.
We would only play Detroit.
No. I'm asking how you feel about where you feel right now, where we are in terms of not what it actually is. I want to know how you feel about our chances.
About 7 out of 10. Yeah.
There you go. All right, Jesse, you got anything?
We need to win 3 more games.
All right, so where are you on our playoff?
About 60.
Your confidence
60%.
Okay, 6 on a 6. All right, I'm right about there. I'm about a 6, 7. 7 is where I'm going to sit. We can go either way, I think, but I think that this bye week comes at a good time. We'll be able to get ourselves mentally right because of this game. We're not just going to sit there thinking about what we've done wrong. We've got something that we did right. Scouse, what about you? Where do you sit on the meter?
I think about an 8.
An 8?
Yeah, I think.
Good man, Scouse.
When you just like you mentioned, that's what I was going to say is that we needed this win really, really badly, and we won well as well. So it gives us a lot of confidence. We can take that confidence into the bye week. We can recharge and then aim and then smack the Saints in the mouth. And I think that's what we're going to do. So I think we definitely needed this win. If we lost today, I'd say probably 0 chance because we'd be mulling over it all the time. But now we won. I think it's a different thing altogether now. I really do.
Yeah, and we won big. Max, what about you? Where are you on the meter?
About a 6, 7. It's like 60 to 70%. I'm running over the
67.5.
Yes, that's a 65, Dad.
All right, 65.
No, I'm running over the playoff machine from ESPN, and based off the results from 1 o'clock, it does not matter who will win between Tampa and Carolina. Atlanta will still be in lead of that division. Mm-hmm. Tampa would be out.
You mentioned Atlanta, and I cannot help but laugh. Did you guys see Kirk Cousins' stupid?
He was bad today.
Yeah, I saw
all 4 of
them.
today.
Oh my God!
I will also say that
it was hilarious.
Next week, Green Bay is in Detroit on Thursday, and Atlanta's in Minnesota. So
those are Thursday game.
So we're losing.
The Thursday game is Green Bay and Detroit. But I mentioned the Minnesota-Atlanta game because that, for us, is going to be big because if Minnesota can beat Atlanta, that's going to put them at 6 and 7, 2 games behind us, and we play them in 3 weeks.
Yeah, what's it's the NFC North, man. I mean, because they're. But,
I mean, the NFC North right now has 3 teams with 3 losses.
3 teams,
like 3 losses or less.
And all those teams are going to make it. You got Green Bay, Minnesota, and then Detroit's going to take the number 1 seed.
If we can assume that Green Bay is going to lose to Detroit on Thursday, that's going to put.
Can you assume that?
Yeah.
Seriously,
put Green Bay with
Detroit
4 losses.
has not been. I mean, they have been, but then they can also play it close.
No, but I ain't betting against Detroit. No way.
But real quick, that's going to put Green Bay with 4 losses with Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota, and Chicago still on their schedule.
Okay. I mean
there's a chance we could catch Green Bay.
I realistically think that Green Bay could lose to Seattle and Minnesota.
Sure.
And
then I think that who's in the South? It's because I'm looking at Tampa Bay.
It's Atlanta and Tampa.
Well, Tampa Bay are playing Carolina right now, and they've still got Carolina to play again.
But because of based off tiebreakers for today, Atlanta's going to be leading the division no matter what.
Okay.
And we all know that Kirk Cousins is going to have the Kirk Cousins 4 interceptions game followed by a 4 touchdown game. It's how he goes. So what he does on a week-to-week basis, who the hell knows?
They've already had their bye, right? Atlanta has.
Falcons?
Atlanta, yes.
They have.
Yeah, they played 12.
They have. All right, so there was a rumor report today about Cliff Kingsbury and the Bears job. Andy, what do you feel about that?
Absolutely no chance. You've got more chance of me playing for England than that happening. No chance.
I think that's possible, though. You are the man. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance in hell he does that.
No, I think Cliff would keep this job as opposed to take a
I
head
think
coaching job.
I think he's going to want to stay at OC for at least 1 more year after this before he decides to move on.
No, I agree.
Scott, what do you think?
I mean, there's always a possibility. If you get offered a job, you get offered a job. You'd be stupid not to take the interview, that's for sure. But, jobs don't come around that often in this league. It would be a second go-round for Cliff. But, yeah, I agree with you, boys. I think he does stay here another year. I think it's just a year too soon. People know what he's supposedly like in his drop-off after the halfway through the season. We haven't seen that today, which is a good thing.
Today,
but there's other teams and other coaches there. I think the Bears will go elsewhere. I don't think they'll even take Cliff. So I think we'll be safe.
Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he goes anywhere this year or after this year.
Scouse, you got anything to add to that?
I think, as Scott mentioned, it depends. I think, obviously, if we continue to put 40 points every week from now to the end of the season, he's going to be a hot hand and everyone's going to be after him. Okay,
right.
So it just depends, really. And for Chicago, for them to try and make it more tangible for Cliff, you're looking at probably having to get rid of Poles and have maybe Cunningham take over the lead GM. He was a finalist for us as well, by the way, if you think about him from when we got Peters. So he's obviously a very good coach, very good GM. And then if he's in charge, then maybe there might be a project you might fancy. But again, we'll have to. There's loads of ifs there. Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, I'd say no, but I wouldn't totally rule it out.
Must say, I've got the Chicago Bears call up. Say, Cliff, I don't have fancy you. I don't know if that's how the phone calls ever go. Max, what do you think? You think Cliff's got a chance going over there?
I don't really worry about Chicago, but there are other places I worry about. I don't think he would go to Chicago. I think he would have a lot better opportunities in the good old state of Texas as opposed to.
Think about Chicago. It though. He was Caleb Williams' QB coach or advisor.
Yeah, he was.
So there is connections there.
Well, that's why the links have been set out because of that.
Of course, it is. I think it's just paper talk. It's just media talking shit.
Oh yeah, there's nothing behind any of this. They can't talk.
Say there's connections though. I mean, Jesus, I once took a wee in Buckingham Palace, but I'm not going to be the King of England.
Well, that might happen.
So, yeah.
Rule it out. The fact of the matter is that it's one of those easy things that the media can say. Cliff Kingsbury, quote unquote, hot offensive coordinator, expects to be a candidate of the Bears and of the whoever else and 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 whoever else. It's just something to put out so you can get some clicks. Way to go, Tom Pelissero, whoever it was, put that out. Nice job.
Right.
Mr. Adam Rank he doesn't want him either.
Yeah, Adam Rank.
Oh, Adam Rank doesn't
want Cliff Kingsbury.
Adam Rank.
That just shows you how much of a fucking idiot Adam Rank is.
I don't know how you get paid to be so stupid.
Well?
I really don't. That's a good job.
Adam Rank genuinely picked the Titans today for the win. He's the only one on the panel as well. He's like, you fucking mong. Oh.
Andy, do you have anybody in your country who's as big of a tool as Adam Rank?
Yeah, it's called Piers Morgan.
Yeah, he's over there.
He's
sitting right there.
John, these jokes just right
you, lads.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we need to do a man of the match here. Let's see. We'll start off with Max. We haven't started with him yet. Max, who's your man of the match today? Your command performance. Oh, yeah, we do have something for that. I forgot. We're on this thing here. So let's see. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it yet. No, sorry.
All right.
Sorry, everybody waited for nothing.
My man of the match is, as always, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. There you go.
Nice.
All right. And for Jaden Daniels and for man of the match, we're going to go ahead and use Henry for it. Yep. Coach Simple put out a video this week on YouTube. It was almost 8 minutes long of him talking to the team. I said to myself, that's a little too long for the podcast. But Coach Simple's got it going on, and whatever he was that he said got them.
I believe Coach
going.
Simple was on X the entire game, giving his reactions as it happened.
Well,
I believe
he's always at the games, right?
I don't think he was there today.
No, I think you're right. I think he was on X giving his reactions, but I didn't want to go on there because I don't know if I'm synced up, and I didn't want to have anything get ruined. So I like to watch the game. All right, where were we? We're on man of the match. We're talking to Andy Burrows. What do you think? Who's your man of the match?
Good shout.
I thought you were.
No.
All right. So, or you could use this one. Anyway, Scouse, what about you? You seem to enjoy that guy swallowing that balloon. What do you think?
I thought he was in it.
Let's Terry.
Well, I mean, tell you what, that took a while for you to come to your conclusion there. 2 touchdowns. What do you have? Like, how many yards did he have? Who's got the stats in front of him?
8 for 8, 73 yards. I think he was 2 TDs.
73 yards. Hell of a game. All right, so Terry, Scotty, how about you? Man of the match.
Frankie Louvu. Jesse, you. Man of the match. Brian Robinson. All right, so I'm not going to go with any of those guys. I'm going to go ahead and say Mike Sanistril. Recovered fumble. We all got a different man of the match. That's quality. Yeah. Just shows you what a good performance it was, doesn't it, really?
Sanistril, I mean, he had a play where he could have wanted it back, but he forced that fumble. He plays hard, man, and I just love it. I love the way it does. Noah I had a big play, too, so there's my man of the match. All right, we got anything else that we want to talk about since this is one of those truncated shows? What do you got?
One stat real quick.
For
the first time since 1967, a rookie quarterback had multiple touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown in the same game.
Since 1967. Let me see. Who might that have been?
That was
a name that I might know?
That was just a Washington stat.
You were probably at the game.
No, that's league history.
All right, so what was the team of the guy?
Sitting in the stands with his pipe.
I've never heard of this person. So he was a Chicago Bear. 1967.
1967? Jeez, that I don't know. I can guarantee you this. He was terrible. They haven't had a quarterback in fucking like 80 years. If it was in the early 70s, it would have been Maryland star Bobby Douglas.
Sorry, in consecutive games. Let me.
No,
I missed that word because I saw Jesse's brain tick. It was a man named Kent Nix.
Kent Nix.
And then Charlie Connerly did it twice in 1948, and now Jaden Daniels done it in 2024.
That's a pretty good stat.
Yeah, there you go. Way to pull that one right out of your ass there. That's pretty quick.
Big quick one just to shout out Keith's son, who looked miserable as sin, sat in the stands.
Keith was like, "See, this is what like when we win. This is fun."
Right. Carried the American flag out as well.
He did.
Oh, were they out there today? Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them.
Carried the American flag out.
Right,
Scotty, I hope the Big and Boss book got a loan because of my long shot hit.
That's right. Your long shot hit. You want to read off your long shot? The last thing to do for the show.
We started a thing. I got to pull it up.
All right, you hit your long shot.
I have got it here. So I had Joe Burrow over 259.5. Jamar Chase over 77.5. Najee Harris over 10.5 receiving yards. Mm-hmm. I had Jamar Chase and Chase Brown anytime touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Chase and Chase.
Darnell Washington under 15.5 receiving yards, and T. Higgins under 69.5, and he finished at 69.
Whew. So yeah,
that was a plus 4,844 parlay that hit. So Scotty, I hope
welcome to the club. You're finally in the black.
I hope the Big
for the
Boss
first
book.
time all season long.
I hope the Big Boss book took out a loan.
You recorded the biggest loss in Big Boss history
last week. I think I've had 2 weeks where I didn't hit a single bet. So
yeah, that is on Saturdays. Saturday afternoons we pick the NFL and make big bets.
Yes, unfortunately.
All right, I got one last question to throw around the room before we get out of here.
Oh no, it's getting
where do we go? Where do we go now? We got a bye week, but what do we concentrate on now?
I mean, getting healthy.
Marshall a lot more fit.
Getting healthy.
Sorry, Scott. Jesse was talking because I asked his fucking name.
Sorry.
No, just getting healthy, and that's including Lattimore. It was good to see him out on the field today. For once, I think his debut will be at the Saints. But yeah, it's just getting healthy and coming out and being ready to play. Time in and time out, we've gone out of the bye week and just looking flat.
Last week,
that too. But I'm just saying bye weeks in general. Yeah. You know, we want to see them ready to go and not be flat because the past 4 years, I don't think we've won a game. If we have, it's maybe one game out of the bye week.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, Scott, you had something that you wanted to say. You were rudely interrupting Jesse for. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was. Apologies. Just saying it's time to get Lattimore fit, and then we can reinforce this back end of this team.
I thought the corners played pretty well today. And like I said, that one play that they went at St. Juice deep, he was beat, and he got lucky they overthrew it. Andy, where do you see us going from here?
To the playoffs. I've been saying it for ages. We'll be fine.
All right, so you picking us to win out?
I think we'll win 3 of the remaining 4. I think we'll lose to the Eagles.
All right. Max, what do you think the focus should be right now?
Finding a kicker that can actually kick the ball, because Zane Gonzalez, that was his third call up. Therefore, if he comes up again, he has to be signed to the active roster.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a decision to make, and we have 2 weeks to make it.
I thought he already was on the active roster.
He was elevated. He was elevated from the practice squad.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Also, because this just came from Quinn, they sat Fedarian Mathis today as opposed to Carl Davis in the name of internal competition. And Carl Davis had a 1 assisted tackle statistical day.
Internal competition, Carl and Fedarian. I put this up earlier today, but Fedarian,
Jesus,
that's like the kiss of death that he's.
He missed that. Tucker's just missed.
Tucker just missed
again. See the touchdown there? Wow.
Yeah, it was fast.
Tucker's off.
Mark Andrews.
You know what it is? It's because I've got Tucker in my fantasy team. That's what it is.
And that's that.
It's a fucking door in a haunted house is what it is. It's like somebody just knocked on the Munsters door.
Not being back in the Airbnb.
It's fucking kickers, I tell you.
This is what you do this for your post game. See what Jesse had for snacks. Jesus Christ.
Asparagus.
Asparagus. I don't want to make any more out of it. I'm gonna have to find a video of an elephant shitting for you when you do that.
Jesus, should have just come to the Airbnb.
All right,
well,
time to go.
That's quite all right. All right, then we will see you
Jesse's
guys tomorrow afternoon at
bathroom.
5:30. The bunker will be on at 4 p.m. And then Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock, you will be able to see Scott and Scouse on the 1 Point Safety Show, and we will see you all after that. Where's the music, man? I'll tell you what.
We'll be
can the bunker's going to be out in about an hour?
Yeah, we'll be going on Friday. Yeah, we're about to record an episode of the bunker. We'll go tomorrow, Bleeding Burgundy, but then we're going to be off until next Friday.
Right.
We don't
This
do
is
the
our
pick
bye week
show?
too.
We'll be back on Saturday to make our picks, but other than that, yeah.
I'll do that from the road.
Unless there's any major news or anything, or we get the itch. You never know. So, all right then. Until tomorrow evening, we will have a much more in-depth coverage of the show, and we'll see y'all then.
First time since 90.